All right then. So earlier tonight, I watched one of Fly Daly's videos featuring this plane, the Buccaneer, and of course he does it in realistic, and I'm in simulator. So in realistic battles, this plane has a bomb recital. It's like a Gaijin used to have on their planes. What, 4 or 5 years ago? Then they took it off. Anyway, I did some test flights in this. Wasn't happy with. There's always something went wrong, and so I learned the plane a little better. So for those who haven't tried it yet, I'll pass on what I learned to you. Number one, you can't just hit the ignition button and take your finger off. It takes at least 3-4 seconds for the engines to ignite. So, see? Next most important thing, close that canopy. The canopy does not close by itself like it does on most of Gaijin's other planes. As soon as you take off, the canopy closes automatically. You have to close the canopy. If not, by the time you get halfway between here and the target, your canopy will blow off and you'll watch it fly. You'll see the shadow of it flying by. Number two, or number three, whatever. No flaps. You don't need flaps. Even though the catapult, as you saw, is in front of the plane, you don't use flaps. It's rather a rude takeoff if you do. Next, always raise your gear as soon as you leave the deck. What else is there that's really important you need to know? Oh yeah, no bomb recital. Anyway, brakes, spool up. When it reaches about 100, let go. There you go. Throttle back. Whoa, see what happens when you don't put those gear up? That's how quick this is. Now, this radar is remarkable. It picks up miles away. See? We're miles from the target, and it's picking it up already. And they're ground targets. This is definitely a ground target plane. Well, that's the first time I've blown the gear off. I usually get it up in time. There. Try to get a bit of altitude. There's no point in chasing that plane because you got no guns. And another thing, if you don't close that canopy, this plane is almost impossible to turn in. And this plane is typical Gaijin construction of a British plane. It wings over really easy. So you got to be really careful of that. And it's pretty hard to recover. Guess I didn't hit any of them. 22, 23 seconds for the next bombs.
Number 3, what do you have?
See when it vibrate like that? Release pressure on the stick or you'll lose control. And even a touch negative elevator helps too. So you really don't need to use the map because the radar is so accurate at picking up the targets. You know exactly where they are. See what I mean? Typical Gaijin British design. I mean no armament. I got 4 bombs. What was that about? I really don't like using the air brake if I don't have to. I just rather throttle back. Because I find that the air brakes on most of the planes Gaijin makes will drag your nose down. And next thing you know, you're dead. See what I mean? Typical British flight. I'm gonna have to do a different angle now. Okay. Gentle on the stick. Gentle, gentle, gentle. So you see, I'm not running much thrust either. You don't need much throttle. So if you stay around 90%, you'll have no problem with handling this plane. Switch to rockets. Now, thing is, in Fly's video, he's in an actual game. So you get a ton of armaments, ton of bombs. You can carpet bomb with this thing. But I'm in the test range, and you only get 4 bombs and a limited number of rockets. It says I still have a bomb left. Oh, I didn't know that. Where's that other target then? Anyway, try it with a bit of positive elevator. I don't see that other target. Oh, where is that target? I would never be able to do this if the canopy was left open. Remember that. Look how good it turns with the canopy closed.
Approaching target.
I don't see it. I'm going to assume it's there. And it wasn't. I do not see this target at all.
Anybody see anything? Negative, all clear, over.
Well, folks, I don't know where that other target is. I don't see it. And I also found that you drop down around 380, something like that, somewhere in there, you'll stall. I learned a lot of hard lessons flying this thing. I do not see another target. It's amazing how well this thing turns. Wow! That's something different from Gaijin. You can actually recover out of a flat spin in a British plane now. Never used to be able to do that. You go into a flat spin in a British plane,
Number 3, switch
that's
gear
it,
out.
you're dead.
Can't see
That
anything,
was
sir.
easy.
The coast is clear.
God, that used to be so frustrating. I hated that. Go into a flat spin, that was it. No matter what you did, she wouldn't come out of it. Where the hell is that target?
Bandits.
Do not see it.
Keep your hands on the swivel. We can get bounced any second in this sector. Do you copy? Over.
Nope, I don't see it. Well, that's about all to demonstrate. See how sharp it turns. Close that canopy. There.